Welcome back. This is a crystal clear mind. Hello, my beauties. Wow, it has been 5 long months since I last managed to fit in a podcast recording, and that time has flown by at an absolute rate of knots. So how are you, wherever you are in the world? I hope that you are keeping well and being kind to yourself. So much stuff has happened in that time since I last recorded, and I am really feeling like this year is completely out to kick my ass. But do you know what? All of the practices and the little rituals I've been putting into place over the last 2 years have helped me yet again get through the really big stuff of when the shit hits the fan. Things like my gratitude, journaling, following the moon phases, self-care, studying about chakras, and so on, has all helped to keep me grounded. It anchored me more than any previous version of myself would have been able to. And that's kind of the whole point of all of this. I look at my beliefs and my spirituality and I ask myself, am I acting or reacting in a better way to this than a previous version of myself would have done? And the answer now is always yes. This inspires me, no matter what the external situation is. This alone inspires me to stick to my path. I can feel that it is aligned to me. Is it perfected? Hell no, it is not. But it's not supposed to be. It is a forever learning, forever growing journey of self-growth. It doesn't end. It doesn't have an end goal. But I am learning, yes. Am I coping better? Yes. And that alone makes me very happy. And I have so many exciting things to talk about. But that is not what this episode is actually about. Because today I wanted to record an episode to welcome you guys to September's Virgo new moon. Now, the moon goes through 8 phases in a month. So we get a new moon and a full moon every month. I am absolutely fascinated by lunar energy and how it translates into us. It is incredible watching the moon's current phase and its position in the sky and how it changes people, how people react, how people communicate. Watch how it can inspire us and how it can also halt us completely in our tracks. Just like the effect that it has on the ocean and the tide, it too has a similar effect on us. Working with the lunar energy can be so beneficial, much like monitoring your own personal ebb and flow throughout a month. This goes for women and for men. It's just that women, we have a physical telltale sign to indicate it to us. But this goes for both sexes. We all have our ups and downs in a month. Weeks that are on, weeks that are off, inspired times, low energy times. Add to that planetary and lunar energy into the mix of this, and things can seem on the outside, if you're looking in, like things are quite chaotic. However, when you start to follow the moon and its pattern, you can find a wealth of knowledge that corresponds to each cycle, each phase, each position that it's in, and that is highly beneficial to you. Did you know that at certain times in certain star signs, you shouldn't make big changes in your life or take on big commitments? Likewise, did you know that there are periods in time because of planetary movement or lunar phases that make it better for you to create big things out of big ideas, as they will be fruitful and they will come to fruition? So if you take this kind of knowledge with you, whether you start to learn about it yourself or whether you follow other people's research, and there is a wealth of research out there, you can start to kind of work with that ebb and flow of the moon and the planetary energy instead of working against it. And herein lies the magic. So this new moon in particular is pretty special, as it also coincides with Mercury retrograde ending. Spiritually speaking, new moons bring about a hope for fresh starts and for new beginnings. And when a new moon, like this one, is in an earth sign, as it is, it brings about an energy of realness and practicality with it. The constellation or star sign of Virgo is represented by the Virgin, and not in a prudy sense. So the Virgin represents Virgo's discerning and sometimes critical nature in terms of what they deem worthy of their time and their energy. This is what they call a mutable earth sign, and it's ruled by Mercury, which is quite ironic considering, Mercury was in retrograde and it's not now that Virgo is in the new moon. And the Virgo energy is intellectual and particular and practical. And I absolutely love these words for it. It's so specific. Mutable energy makes Virgos who are born from August the 23rd through to September 22nd. It makes it the most flexible sign out of the earth signs. They are most concerned with healing and helping and nurturing. The other three signs that are mutable are Geminis, Sagittarius, and Pisces. The mutable signs, they prepare for change into the next season. So this makes these people in this group really highly adaptable people. They are super flexible and they're communicative as well. So if you throw a curve ball at a mutable sign, so at a Gemini, a Virgo, a Sagittarius, or a Pisces, they can turn on a dime and they can come up with solutions faster than you can bat an eye at them. Mutable signs are restless, but they embrace change. So we're dealing with a new moon that is bringing us new beginnings and fresh starts, that is an adaptable, practical, flexible, and insightful star sign that likes to nurture and take care of people. So this is a really great moon to focus on things like your health and your wellness. So if you're considering introducing something new to your health or your wellness, which can be your physical or your mental wellness, then this new moon is the time to take that leap forward. So sign up for that new workout class, or try a new therapy, or create a new ritual, something that works for you. Take time over the next 2 weeks before the full moon comes in to connect with the earth element of Virgo, as it's an earth sign. So get yourself outside, go for a walk, connect with nature, try grounding if you don't already do that sort of thing. So be barefoot on grass or sand or sea, which is also just a great feeling, grass or sand between your toes is lovely. Utilize the new moon energy to bring life into your visions. So Virgo inspires us to roll up our sleeves, get down to work. She wants us to manifest our ideas and our wishes for what we want our lives to look like in reality. So use Virgo's energy to tap into your most authentic self. It is a time for you to let go of self-doubt, self-criticism. Be super kind to yourself, forgive yourself, and be compassionate with yourself. Virgo's energy kind of shows us who we could truly be if we allowed ourselves to step up into our fullest power. It's also quite a good time quite an imperative time to look for balance. You're trying to find the balance between who we could become and who we are right now. So use the new moon in Virgo's energy of trying to inspire yourself forward, bring things into reality from your ideas, fresh beginnings and so on. But you've got to balance it within yourself between who we currently are and who we wish to be. Although it is time to step into that power, you have to be kind to yourself and realize that if we are forever comparing ourselves, our current selves, to who we want to be, we won't find balance and happiness. On the other hand, if we stop striving to become our best version of ourselves, then we become unhappy and stagnant. So you have to find the balance between the two. This is where the compassion, the acceptance, forgiving yourself, being kind to yourself comes in. You've got to find the balance and accept yourself with love for where you are right now, because this is where you are supposed to be today. But still continue to work forward on those leaps forward to become a better version of yourself going forward. As we work with Virgo's energy, become aware of what conditions you place upon yourself for love and acceptance. Ask yourself, what unrealistic level of perfectionism am I placing upon myself? Most important thing you need to know is you are worthy of love and acceptance and fulfilled dreams. So question yourself, what unrealistic perfectionism are you putting on yourself? But know that you are worthy of love, acceptance, and fulfilled dreams. I want you to connect with Virgo's earth element and reevaluate your boundaries in your life. With yourself, with others. Work out where you might need new boundaries. Again, Virgo's new moon is very much about fresh starts, fresh beginnings. Here, it wants you to work on the boundaries in your life and perhaps look at if you need to set new boundaries to suit the current version of yourself. Know that you are worthy of upholding those boundaries for. Virgo inspires us to make long-term commitments through our intentions. So this new moon is a night to look far, far into your future and imagine what you want your life to look like. Choose how far you want to look in the future. What does your life look like in a year? What does it look like in 5 years, 10 years? And then I want you to ask yourself, what step can I take today to get that started? Because it's all about baby steps. It doesn't have to be enormous leaps all the time. One step can sometimes be a huge, huge leap. Then I want you to write those intentions down on the new moon. I want you to feel into that power with your own practices and your own rituals. And these do not need to be complicated or time consuming. Simply brewing a cup of tea with intention, journaling, meditating, a mindful walk, eating mindfully where you are in the present moment enjoying your food. These are all examples of practices or rituals. So it doesn't have to be something that is going to take up too much time or too much thought where you have to really seek it out. You already have these things in your life and you're probably already doing them unintentionally. Feel the power of your intention in all of these things that you do. This is how you build the foundation to manifest it. This keeps the fire of your dreams burning long after the energy of that new moon has passed. So remember, out with the old and in with the new. If you work with crystals, like I do, and you have crystals in your life, I want you to work with earth crystals in this period. So I would highly suggest things like moss agate, which will help you to introduce those healthy ways of living we were discussing at the beginning. So introduce that new class, introduce that new therapy. You want to start eating healthier. This will help to keep you motivated in that area. I can also recommend using emerald. This reminds you to get out of your head and get into your heart. And the last one would be green aventurine. We actually notice there's a bit of a green earthy theme running through these crystals. So green aventurine helps you to be mindful of what is helping you and what is getting in your way. I think those three together especially would be incredibly helpful through this period. So if you use crystals, make sure you set your intentions with them. Use an I am statement, perhaps along the lines of something like, I am grounded and connected and ready for a fresh new beginning. This is just an example. Please use whatever works for you. It's just a suggestion so that you can see what it sounds like. But yeah, definitely set an intention with them. Don't just have them just because they've been mentioned. You need to set your intention with them, hold them, feel their energy, connect with them for them to be useful to you. So I want you to use this time to carve out in your mind's eye what it is that you want for yourself. Breathe deep and know that it is not only possible, but that by taking that step alone, you are already well on your way. Enjoy the new moon energy, and until next time, my beauties, be kind to yourselves.